Cambodia is a country in mainland Southeast Asia, rich in culture and ancient history. At the height of the Khmer Empire, it was one of the most powerful countries in Asia. The stunning beauty of Cambodia still shines through, and that's why it's such a popular tourist destination today. But behind the friendly smiles and people is a dark past that many aren't aware of.
In 1975, the Cambodian communists, the Khmer Rouge, won power.
A 4-year genocide began in which around 2 million people were murdered or starved to death due to malnutrition.
Perhaps the man most responsible is the Khmer Rouge leader, Pol Pot.
Anyone with perceived privilege, anyone who was educated with links to the former government or even the Western world were hunted down and were murdered.
The Khmer Rouge interrogated and then exterminated anyone they suspected of opposing them.
This year marks 50 years since the Khmer Rouge's reign of terror over Cambodia began.
I never thought that the world can turn upside down.
These survivors have suffered in silence, and I think it's really important to document so that we never forget. I grew up hearing some of these stories, but I didn't realise the magnitude of this genocide. Dad. Okay, it's all right. Oh, Dad. I've spent the last 6 months curating these stories and interviewing people who are happy to share their stories. All these people are linked because of this tragic past that they share. I know it's not easy to talk about, it's painful, but I'm so grateful that you all said yes. And, you know, it means a lot. I think it's important to share these stories and tell the world about what happened. So Sophia Hang was born in Khawidang in a refugee camp in Thailand. Her parents were just 16 years old when they were imprisoned during the Khmer Rouge regime.
When the regime came through, my mum's family were one of the first to be targeted and executed. Her father was a governor and a very educated family. Her brother was a doctor.
All of the professionals and educated people were being targeted and taken away to be executed.
I found out that my grandfather actually committed suicide because he couldn't bear the idea of watching his family get executed and also his home turned into a prison. My mum in prison watched her sister, who is the wife of a pilot. She was executed right in front of my mum in such a horrible way. And my mum had to hold back her feelings because it could not be known that they were related. They escaped Cambodia and walked to Thailand pregnant with my brother, who was born in 1980. And then when I was born, 3 months later, we came to Australia. And there my story begins.
And then there's Michael Tang, who was born here in Australia. His parents are also survivors of the Pol Pot regime.
All they knew was that they had to run west, and west was Thailand. West was freedom. West was away from all the bullshit, all the murder, all the death. So that night, they decided to run.
But to get across the border, you had to get past the Khmer Rouge soldiers shooting at you. Not only that, you were also dodging landmines.
When they were running, all they could hear was a stick break, and that was it. So once the stick broke, someone sounded the alarm. They're running, they're running. Immediately, gunshots were heard, and all of a sudden you can hear boom, landmine. Family, don't know who, but someone obviously died. All you could hear was people, gunfires, screaming, landmines going off. Some people in front of them, 20 metres away, got shot, dead, right in front of them. They just had to keep going. All they could see was tunnel vision. We have to get to the border. We have to get to the border.
The next morning, they arrived safely, they got over the line, and they couldn't believe the fact that they had survived.
I know why my parents are the way they are. I know why they raised us the way they raised us. And certain cues and certain situations, certain habits and traits that they got from being in the war, like you can't make loud noises at night. You know, you make a noise, someone's gonna kill you. You know, having to eat everything off your plate because they had nothing.
The older generation in the Cambodian culture don't really talk about their feelings, don't really talk about their trauma. There's no such thing as mental health. And so for a very long time, these survivors suffered in silence. When you're being targeted because you're a pharmacy student, because you're the daughter of a governor, you know, you're basically running because you don't want to be killed. It's a life or death situation.
Every day is just a torture, you know? It's a torture.
You have Richard Lim, who is also a survivor, who has incredible stories to share.
They said, no, we're going to kill you if we don't go. We sneak out into the bush, hiding there.
When he was with his younger brother and another cousin and a few other relatives who were all teenagers, they were hiding because there was a lot of gunfire between the Khmer Rouge soldiers and the Vietnamese soldiers. They were hiding under a palm tree leaf.
A lot of palm leaf. I covered myself. Poop, I go in there. Poop. And I saw through the hole. I see army, my God, walk past. So many. And they didn't know that there was inside that hole.
After hours of just gunfire, Richard couldn't hear any of his brothers or cousins, and so he thought they had died.
What I did, I might as well let them kill me. I pulled the palm tree leaf, whoop, the gun straight away. They pointed at me straight away. I looked further, about 30, 40, 50 meters away from me. 4 of them under the coconut tree, all handcuffed. I said, my God, they took me, handcuffed me there too. They want to shoot us. But they keep asking me, the word they keep saying, are you Pol Pot? Pol Pot?
They kept saying, are you Pol Pot? Are you Pol Pot? They kept asking, are you Khmer Rouge? And they're like, no, 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 we're not. And one of Richard Lim's cousins could actually speak Vietnamese, and he was able to tell the soldiers, no, we are not Pol Pot, we're not Khmer Rouge soldiers, we're simply survivors looking for our families.
I decided to go by myself, rode a bicycle, quite a long distance, you know, from one place to the next, just to look after.
He rode for thousands and thousands of kilometres for weeks looking for his family.
Suddenly I met one of my hometown. He said, oh, your parents all died, your mother, your father, your elder sister, and so on. I don't know how many people died. But I'm aware that you still have brother and sister, yeah? Your younger brother and sister. But look like, because everyone rushed to the west, likely go to the west, you go.
He rode his bicycle, he looked at their faces and he was like, are you my sister, are you my brother?
I saw one of the girls skinny walk by herself, and suddenly she cried. She cried at me. And I said, is that you're my sister? She knew exactly who am I straight away. We cried. And we escaped. We found someone that can take us across to the refugee camp.
These people have two choices. They either stay and they die, or they run. I feel like growing up, I've always asked my dad about, you know, the past, but it was always too painful for him to talk about it. And so 50 years, I thought, now it's time. Dad's getting old. He's in his 80s.
Where?
Okay, look at me.
Yeah.
My father is a Khmer Rouge survivor. Before 1975, he was a soldier for the Lon Nol government. There were Khmer Rouge soldiers coming into the capital, their tankers rolling in with their big guns. But when he returned to Battambang, a province in Cambodia, he found out that they were tragically taken away and murdered. His wife and their 9-year-old daughter Lee were killed. They gave their baby away to a neighbour to hide, where they sort of store rice. And obviously babies cry and make noise. When the soldiers found them hiding, they took them away and they killed them. To think about what happened to the Cambodian people 50 years ago, it's just unimaginable. They showed no mercy towards the elderly, towards the innocent. Families were torn apart, generations wiped out. We're talking babies. Babies were murdered. Yeah, to think about it, it's just really sad.
Dad. Okay. It's alright. Oh, Dad. It's okay. I'm proud of you, Dad.
Okay.
I'm proud of you.
Okay.
You think of, the families having to hide and, not make any noise because you'll get killed. So that's my dad's story. It's really heartbreaking to think that every year, as the years go by, there's no one to mourn, there's no ceremony. I feel like, in a sense, it's sort of the forgotten genocide.
Oh, goodbye, happy life, new life.
It's such a healing and powerful moment for us. Me appreciating, where he's come from and the sacrifices he's made.
I said the dream for almost every night. You dream about food only. You dream about food.
I think the community is still scarred, and I don't think these scars will ever go away. I feel like the scars have been passed down through generations. We talk about generational trauma, and you can see that existing in the community today.
My mum would go to bed at night and she would scream in her sleep, like blood-curdling screaming. And she still does it to today. And what I've come to understand is the reason why she has these nightmares is because she changed her identity. She actually watched her family get executed in front of her eyes. And as a 16-year-old, she was forced to have no feelings or not speak about it and not tell anyone.
Mum had a miscarriage during the Khmer Rouge period and still had to work the next day. Trying to understand that is so hard. Like, you can't fathom that. Like, having a stillborn and then having to go to work the next day, eating maybe a couple of grains of rice. And for me, being 26, living in a house in Australia, like, completely different.
Okay, what is this?
And even Richard Lim, it's the first time he's ever spoken about his story. He really wanted to inspire the next generation to study and make something of yourselves.
I've been in Australia for 45 years, actually, since 23rd October 1980.
How old were you then?
That time about 25 already.
So you went back to high school as
High
a
school.
24-year-old?
Yep, 24 years old.
Wow.
No one knows that I'm 24. 8:30 in the morning, you went to school. 3:30, you jump in a train, go to factory, start 4 o'clock.
He continued his studies and opened up Lim's Pharmacy in the early 90s, and it's still there today. Michael's parents' grocery store called Badambong, which is where his mum is from, became that place of comfort for so many Cambodians. I remember as, you know, a child going in and shopping with my mum there and saying hello to auntie and uncle and buying ingredients to make Cambodian food.
Even though I was born here, having that shop made me more in touch with my culture, like my background.
I feel like, you know, the children of refugees and migrants have to grow up pretty quickly.
Yeah, you don't really realise how unconventional you grew up until your child turns a certain age and you look at them and go, or you even say it. When I was your age, I was working. When I was your age, I learned to drive a forklift. My parents are my heroes. They have the most inspiring story when it comes to running a business and creating wealth and giving us the best life. So I'm really appreciative of, I've had a good life.
I feel like Cambodian food is like very flavoursome. Oh wow.
It is KFC.
I just want my kids to be proud of who they are, to embrace their identity and love their culture. And I want them to really know, you know, people are beautiful, they're kind, they're funny, but there is also that tragic history that we should never forget about.